Good evening. Good evening. I realized my camera's a little bit off center now and I may rejigger it. However, I thought it might be fun to show off our vintage candelabras in the background there. So you know that this is a holiday episode of Destination Decluttered. And yeah, um, here we are. Let me adjust this because I want to make your comments bigger and my head smaller, as if that were the case. So, do me a favor. Hello, Cheryl. If you can please just let me know if you can hopefully see me is kind of the easy part, but if you can hear me, I haven't used my microphones in a bit. So I want to make sure I'm coming through loud and clear. And Christine with the two doggos. I'd love to see that. Okay, cool. Cheryl, you guys, you people, you rock. You rock, okay? So good stuff. Good stuff. And thank you here. See, I'm trying to get it so you can see the Christmas lights in the background. I thought that was kind of fun. Hey, Shell W and Heather MC. Yo, Heather MC. I love it. I just realized I might as well plug in my phone because why not? Why not? I also decided actually to get kind of comfy because it's one of these evening YouTube lives. I almost said TikTok, evening YouTube live. And why the hell not? I'm about this many into bed. Yeah, and this is just a bath. This is my bathrobe. I call it my reading robe because it's not so much I go bathing, but I read and I just love to cuddle up in a little snuggly snuggleson. And yes, lending a soft kind of what do I want to say, a vintage glow, as it were, to the background. I bet you guys, many of you might be able to picture these. The yeah, smoking jacket. Yes, if I smoked, I would be calling it that. Yeah. Um, so the lights around each window of our house, the Christmas lights, are the kind that a I remember from being a kid. And we had the ones that had like the little three prongs, and the color of the plastic of these candelabras, for lack of a better word, and you can totally hear my Boston accent coming out when I say that, is such a weird color. It's not really yellow. It's kind of this weird kind of light yellow color, but not really. And it's such of an age. The lights in them too. Many of you may remember, and I wish I could kind of show you in the biz. They call them the C7 lights. They're kind of the old timey ones that are almost like triangular shaped. They're C7s and C9s are the bigger ones. I got the ones here. Such a cool, I will totally do a shout out if you like that kind of look, that vintage look, which I am all about. I used to get the bulbs from like old hardware stores and uh, what was it, Kmart and stuff like that. But the incandescent lights tend to be very warm, and they also tend to generate a lot of heat and electricity. And there's this wonderful company called True Tone, TRU Tone, that really embrace the vintage. And what they've done is they've created these vintage looking bulbs with LED technology. So you get a nice cool to the touch. Also, hopefully, it's decreasing our electric bill. And I just love that it's such a cool company that I love that they did that. So I just thought I would have that kind of softly glowing in the background, as they have been since like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the evening when it got so dark. But enough about my Christmas lights. How about you? What's going on with you this evening? Did you get some good stuff done today? Did things work out the way you wanted to? I hope so. If things didn't work out, that's okay. If they did work out, yay. Um, did anything, are you stymied? Stymie. I sound like I'm talking about the Little Rascals, right? Is anything got you stuck? I'm here even to just help you reflect back on the day and celebrate what went right, and try to not judge yourself about what didn't go as you hoped it would. But maybe we can learn something from it to set you up for success for tomorrow. Now, I will share with you that I said to my husband shortly before I kind of went live here. I said, it is kind of nutty the fact that having what I like to call a due date, like a time where I'm going to do something, often helps me show up to do things. Like, for example, today, knowing that I had this 8 p.m. YouTube live, it kept me, from collapsing in bed and scrolling on my phone or diving into a book. I did get a little bit more comfortable, but I still was kind of doing little bits and pieces, and I was doing more puttering and decluttering than I might have done had I not had this meeting or this gathering with you guys tonight. So while some of it, I will totally admit, I was like, I don't need to be this productive, but putting away some of the clothing that we washed from our trip, putting it not just on my bureau, but taking the next step. Putting it, I almost, you guys, totally confessing up here. I totally was like, I'll just put the clean clothes on top of the tote of seasonal clothes in my closet. And then I was like, you know what? Just take the next step. Just pull the tote out, take the lid off. Now, did I go and organize it? No, I put it neatly in the top of that one. Um, and I'm cool with it. So I offer to you, hopefully, our time together tonight made you, I don't know, stay awake a little bit more. Maybe it's time for you to get in your pajamas, in your smoking jacket. Um, Anything you want to share, please put it in the chat. I hope it's not just me talking tonight. I do have my handy glass of water here in case I need to refresh. So what's on with you? Fill me in. Fill me in. Wins we'll celebrate, and things that went differently. I mean, different can be fun. Sometimes things go differently better, you know? There we go. Okay, Heather MC, let me help you with your slump. Your slump. I've got a little mid-Christmas decoration slump. Got the tree decorated and the wreaths up, and now I sound like Charlie Brown, but I don't feel Christmassy, Linus. I don't know why. Yeah, still have to lug all the empty boxes back up to the attic. Okay, I get you. I get you because we usually take our empty boxes down to the basement. So, a couple things that might help, my dear. So the cool thing is the decorating slump sounds like, you got most of the decorations up. That's the major thing. Now it's just kind of the tidying up, you know? Notice your use of the verb lug. What if we substituted that? What if we just had some fun like we were writing something in English class? Substitute a lighter, more fun verb that indicates carrying instead of lug. Now, if you think about it, they're probably going to be lighter boxes because they're emptier. So maybe you toss them up the attic. Maybe and then it's all the empty boxes. I mean, one thing you could do, I'm just riffing here, knowing that is there someplace else? Just throwing this out there. Yes, dance the boxes up there, right? Dance them up. Put on some Christmas music and have that be part of it. Um, do it maybe one box at a time, one box a day. And then by the time you do that, it'll be ready to bring one box down and clean everything up, right? That could be it. Let me ask you this. Is there a place you could put the empty boxes from your decorations that's easier to get to, easier to put them there where like nobody will see it? Okay? Where you won't be bugged about it. Now, this is a classic me move, so I'll share it with you. When we used to have people over, I always knew that if I had the door opening this way in a room, that anything I kind of put behind the door would be hidden if anybody looked in there, you know? So I say to you, I can't remember, do you have an extra bedroom? A place you could put them that isn't all the way back to where they kind of belong, because it's just temporary. it's the next 3 to 4 weeks maybe. Now maybe that's too much for you, and now suddenly when I provide this opposite, suddenly putting them up in the, attic seems a lot better. No, I don't wanna have them hanging out behind a door in the other room. I would prefer to have them up in the attic, you know? Um, okay. Yeah. Okay. So good. So notice how we're just riffing here. We're just tossing out ideas. Christine said every little bit helps and said, I love the one at a time approach. Notice classic chunking down. So Heather is reviewing. Yep, we have one of those narrow brownstones with not much storage, but I love, and boy, do I love the word love. I love the idea of one box a day. I can do that. And here's another thing. Heather, you probably have no problem with this because you live in a brownstone and you're probably going up and down stairs all the time. I live in a ranch. And what I realize is that I don't get my steps in as far as like going up and down stairs a lot. So anytime I need to go up and down the basement stairs, I always make sure I have my phone with me because that's also the thing that I use to count my steps. So remember to remind yourself too, even though you probably get plenty of steps in, that that also helps, you know. So yeah, one box a day, chunking it down, not lugging them all up there. You're going to dance one box up and then be like, "Woo, I'm done for the day." And then you might even no expectations. This is why setting the bar, as I like to say, so comically low makes you feel like an accomplishment. And then you may say, hey, you know what? How about this? How about I do one more? You don't have to do that at all. Sometimes one of the benefits of chunking things down is simply getting you out of inertia and into action, is getting you doing the thing. You've already, I don't know, like I'm imagining the attic here. You probably like in the house I grew up in, it was a thing in the ceiling and you had to kind of pull it down and then there were some folding things. So you already have the attic light on, it's already up, you're already ready to go. You might do it. Yeah. And I like to get it so comically low because it's like it's so laughable. Like how could I not do that? You know, it's just one box up in the attic. Kind of like me setting the bar so low. It's like, okay, just that one little step. It seems so torturous to open up the box to put my clothes in, you know? So notice when you start laughing about how easy it could be to just do that one little bit, you know you're in good territory, okay? And then the neat thing is you could joke and be like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to bring 5 boxes up and then I'm going to take the week off so I don't have to do any of it." Have a little sense of play. Notice how I think it was Christine if I can scroll back up because I want to give, proper attribution whenever able. Oh, it was even you, Heather. Dance them up there. It's like, "Look at me. I can dance these up here." And there's a song that makes me think of using the word dance. Oh, I gotta think of that. It's not about dancing. We're gonna dance. There's a lot of songs about dancing. I will not get the microphone out. All right. Now, Shell is also doing Christmas decor. So maybe we'll do a holiday decor theme tonight if you want. Shell W is saying slowly emptying bins of Christmas and setting around, coming across stuff that I didn't use the last few years. Any ideas to donate them to? Examples are small strands of garlands with lights. Okay. Honestly, I would say this. Anywhere you think that somebody may be shopping for holiday decor on the secondary market, aka a thrift store, Goodwill, hospital thrift store. What's that one? Um, uh, the one with the people who make the houses. There's one across the street from us. It's kind of new, not right across the street, but anywhere you can think of somebody who can't afford, let's say, to shop at a full price store, where might they be looking for that stuff? And that to me is a place that you could donate that stuff. Don't overthink it, but again, make it as easy as possible. Habitat for Humanity. That's what I was thinking because we have one near us. Any place that accepts those kinds of donations, kind of hard goods versus just clothing. Okay? And Making it easy on yourself. Yes, Shell, right there. As you were typing it, maybe you're typing it wherever you are, suddenly went to my head. But yes, Habitat, we have one of those near us. So I love that you're thinking of donating some of that stuff. Because, and also just noticing that, hey, you know what? I didn't put these things out this year. I noticed myself, I'll be honest with you. I have a bag over here of ornaments that I inherited. Yeah, I know, exactly. And I love it. Gina was also typing when you thought of it. Who knows? Who knows the wavelengths, how quickly they can hit us, huh? Pretty cool. Now, I have a bag of ornaments that I inherited that are not really my style, but it was a traditional ornament that I actually gave to my mother years in a row. Now, they were more her than me, and now I own them. And I'll be honest with you. Again, full disclaimer, I am not sure what I want to do with them. So while I put them downstairs with the Christmas stuff last year and said, I will deal with that next year, I'm still not sure what I want to do. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to give myself some flexibility and maybe put them out this year, maybe put them down the basement and say, didn't use in 2025. Let's try it again next year. Okay. Yeah, and I love it. Christine says to the comically low kind of, yes, some days I add get the package off the porch to my to-do list. There's nothing wrong with that. There is no, let me be very clear and let me help out with this. And if you want to write it down, it says Beth says so, it's okay. There is no task so small that it does not belong on your list of things you did. Okay? Now, I say this because I did so many littly piddly things today, but each one of them was a step in the right direction to get things moving. And I will put them down on my list. Sometimes my list ends up being really long, and then I'll just say, and a bunch of other stuff because it's good enough. But do not underestimate what you do. Get excitement. Be proud of all of the little things you do. How do you think a Christmas tree gets decorated? An ornament at a time. You know, it's one ornament, another ornament, a strand of lights, a strand of garland, maybe some of those icicles that people used to do it. You're right, they all take energy. So they're all worth you noting what you did. Because if you don't pay attention to what you do and don't believe you did something, not that you need to convince anybody else, but you got to feel good about what you did. If you're feeling empty and tired around this time of day, maybe you deserve it. I did a lot today. But if you don't have the evidence, you're like, what did I do? And then your brain sometimes says, I guess I did nothing if I can't remember it. But if you write it down, take a moment right now. Notice I could not speak for an entire minute. That's when you know a minute is a really long time. Let's all do that, shall we? I'll give you a chance to get yourself prepped. Grab yourself a piece of paper, your notebook, your pen. I'll do it myself. One thing that helps too, I'll just give you a sneaky peek, a little sneak, which is to look at the things that you wrote down that you thought you were going to get done today. That can take a thing, okay? That can refresh your brain as to what you did, okay? Let's notice when we say, oh, a minute isn't long enough, I need longer. No, you know what we're going to do? I'm going to set my timer right now. Where is my timer? My stopwatch. No, my alarm, my timer. There we go. I'm going to set it for 1 whole minute. And then, no, not an hour, just a minute. And then let's write down some stuff that we did today. Okay? The timer, she started now. I'll put it here so that we can hear it when it goes off. What did I do? There we go. All right. So notice that. Now, hey, I just noticed as I glanced up that one persona and Melissa just showed up. And if if we're live here, and what I was just offering to do is this is the time of day to take stock, to say what did I do today, and even taking 1 minute, and I set my 1 minute timer to get you thinking and reflecting back on what you did today and feeling good about it. That will set you up for sweet dreams. You know, um, doing that along the way, everything takes energy. Feel good about what you did. Um, Decluttering, decorating. Did you get even one step closer to having something be done today? Did you choose something versus another thing and feel good about your decision? Um, did you print out the paper that you needed to do a return? Did you put something in an envelope that was outside of an envelope? Um, any of those things, all of that counts. Okay. Now, Shell, I'm just curious. You mentioned some swags from my parents' house that I loved when I was little. Um, I hope that is something that um, it looks like you're ready to let go of. I hope so. The things to me anyway, the things you hang on to should be the things that make you feel good. It should also feel okay and possibly good to let go of things, even if you have a sentimental connection. It's all about making sure that you are feeling good about the decision you're making and not just thinking you're okay with it, but really letting the thinking of, oh, like, I think I'll be okay. Let it trickle down. How do I feel? And if there's any kind of conflict right here, just give yourself some time. There is no race to the end. This is not a race. You move at your own pace through your own life. Shelley is saying you have inspired me so much. Thank you. I don't know how. Well, I mean, I show up all the time. And speaking of that, I want to give a little kind of admin aside momentarily, just as a heads up. But I'm so glad because that's what I hope to do. I hope to encourage, give you the courage to do the things um, that are going to make you feel good. Okay. So Shell says, I dreamt last night about them. I want to be ready to get rid of that. Okay. So notice this is something I'm playing with. So I will share this with you now, and because I'm just experimenting with it, but I'll clue you into it. Okay. And I have added, I think I've shown, and many of you have seen that I have for the past 3, 4, 5 years, I have posted on a page from my daily calendar, like, what do I want? To remind myself to ask, what do I want? I have recently added a little post-it note to say, what do I want? And then state, I am creating. I am. So thinking about this, Shell, I want to be ready to get rid of that. Why not experiment with this? Just experiment what it feels like to try on the feeling. You don't have to buy the outfit. You're trying on to see how it feels to say, I am ready to get rid of that. What is the difference? Where do you feel the difference between I want it and I have it? I feel ready. I want to feel that. I do feel that. Just experiment with it. Yeah. Now, I love it. McDougs is saying there is no decluttering police, no hard and fast rules, just great tools and tips. Yeah. Yeah. And really, because hard and fast, no. How about soft and easy? You know? Yeah. And here's, I think, many of us, and I'll just at least include myself in this, and if you're in this group too, you'll know it. Many of us have been raised to be afraid to let go of stuff. So we have the fear of getting in trouble with somebody if we do let go of things. And being aware of that can really be an eye opener. So I offer that to you. There is nobody And if there is, I will say this, maybe there is in your life somebody who will, some specific alive person who will judge you harshly for letting go of things. The power is when you feel good about your decision, you will be unshakable. You will be solid in your convictions of, I feel like I did the right thing. Okay. So I love that. Yeah. All righty. All right. Gina Mead says, I've been waiting on a refrigerator and washing machine delivery since 8 a.m. Discovered a few minutes ago, delivery changed to Saturday after messaging all day saying delivery on the way. All right. Now that is frustrating, Gina. Get the frustration out. And then here you go. Oh, well. Oh, well. Let it go. Use your body. Fling it off of you. Don't let those delivery people make you feel worse, make you feel bad. Express your frustration. Don't get me wrong. God, that's so annoying. Blah, stupid. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I am struggling with the fact that I will not find out about what time my surgery is on Friday for my eyes. I don't find that out until tomorrow. And I am supposed to be arranging for somebody to not only just drive me there. They have to stay there for 2 or 3 hours and pick me up. I mean, this is a lot of, and usually my husband is usually the guy to do it, but he's got a thing going on. So I know the frustration of that type of thing. But what I will offer to you, Gina, let it go. Release it, feel it, then throw it up and get it off you and wipe your hands of it. And don't let it jam up how you feel now. Okay? All righty. Now, Melanie D says hello. So I say hello. Slow and steady wins the race. Yes. So I was so afraid to start cleaning out. So I started with 2 junk drawers. Yeah. I was also so ready. Yeah. 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 And Gina, the good news is, honestly, I feel bad that you cried about it. However, the crying shows your body is releasing that feeling. It wants to get it out. Okay. Yeah. And Christine is saying life gets better when we let it go. And she's saying this is a reminder to myself. Yeah. And isn't it frustrating? The whole, I don't know. I do not like not knowing the surgery times either. Trust me, it's one of those things where I will share with you. I've said to my husband, I have to practice not being irritated by this because my irritation is not going to suddenly change the entire policy of the place that's it's going, you know? So I get you with the frustration about that. What I hope is that you were able to do some little things today so you weren't just sitting there looking out the window waiting for them to come. Let's not give our power to somebody else that isn't even worth it to make you feel bad. Okay. All righty. Now, Shell says, my boys have no memories, talking about the swags, the Christmas swags. My boys have no memories of those at my parents' house. I need to repeat that to myself. Yes. You know what? This is a memory for me. And this is an interesting thing too. Being the gatekeeper or the in control of the short stories that you remember and making a decision on what stories get passed along about certain things in your family tree or what you keep. So notice that if you keep that stuff, unless you create a story and, oh, I remember this from being a kid and yada yada for your boys, they're not going to have that story. You have the story, but you can also, if you choose to, release the story from the thing. Where's from the thing? I got to make a new one of these, but you've got the story, you've got the thing. You attach the story to the swag. The swag, it probably came from Woolworth, Wilco, Filene's, Bloomingdale's, wherever. It came from there, and then you attached a memory of seeing it hanging up in your house. You can also have the memory. And then the swag can go somewhere else. I am ready to let it go. That being said, I just talked about this bag of ornaments that I have. I am not quite ready to let it go, and that's okay. What I do know, though, is I will create a solution for those ornaments that feel good to me, and I will not pass along ornaments or things like that to my nieces and nephew and weigh them down with stories they may not want to carry. I want to lighten their load as I'm lightening down mine. Lightening down, lightening up. Pardon me, I just felt a burr in my throat. I'm going to take a sip. And the fun thing is, I was just thinking about this as I was sipping. Having fun at the holidays and maybe making it a thing that you decorate for the holidays a little bit differently every year. That could be fun with the quantity of items you put out. Maybe you do a thing where you say, I don't put out everything every year. I mix it up. That could help you make it lighter and more fun. Other times, it can be fun to have certain things you put out every year and they go right in that place. That might feel good too. But remember to me, the always going back to making sure you feel good about that. Yeah. Yeah, and this is a good one too, McDugs. Share the memory this year and see how it lands with everyone. And after this holiday's over, you'll know what to keep and not keep the young people's, put the input. Now, I recently let go of our punch bowl kit. And it was one of those things where we had some people over, so we had some drinks in the punch glasses. Now they really wouldn't care if this is the last punch that we're going to have in these glasses, but it was kind of fun to do that and make it be like, okay, I'll put it up this year, but after that I'm going to let it go. Again, it's like trying on different bathrobes, seeing how that fits. Is that a comfortable thought? Does that make you feel uncomfortable? Does it make you feel comfortable? Oh, that, you know what? That doesn't feel so bad. Yeah. No, Shelly R says, dude, what's your sign, man? She didn't say it like that, but that's how my brain says it. I am a Leo. I am a Leo. You are so calm, cool, and collected. Not all the time. Right. But what I will say, Shelly, you can practice being calm, cool, and collected. Practicing this. If it feels good, practice it. If it doesn't feel good to be hyper, sometimes I'm hyper and sometimes I'm not. But right now, here's a funny thing, Shelly. So I do the TikTok lives and the YouTube lives, and about once a week, I do an evening one. I am so much more calm and cool and collected at night because I'm tired. Because I'm a morning bird. I'm an early bird, not a night owl, as I like to say, as I'm married to a night owl, you know? And I just offer to you that notice that it can feel good to hear a calm, cool, and collected voice. So maybe you experiment with speaking to yourself a little bit more calmly, a little bit more cool, a little bit more collected. See how it feels. Yeah. Now I'm a Leo, so I guess I'm a leader of some sorts, but I'm on the cusp. I don't know. Somebody can read my charts and they would know. But I know that there's a time to be hyper and a time to be like zing, zing, zing. And other times, let's slow it down. And at least here on the East Coast, because it's what, 8:35, I'm going to go momentarily after I shut off this. I'm going to respond to an email. I'm going to shut everything down. I'm going to go lay in bed. I'm going to read a book. I'm going to probably scroll on TikTok. And yeah. So I'm a little, there's a different vibe, I will say, to the evening YouTube lives than the ones that are during the day. Yeah. Now, I love it that McDougs and Shell are going back. Yeah. And this is interesting. You're writing, most feelings come from possible guilt. I am curious about that. I say some feelings, not most. I would say some feelings come from possible guilt. And what's guilt? Guilt is a feeling. To me, guilt is a fear of not doing what you want so that you end up doing something that somebody else wants you to do, right? Think about that. Guilty. I shouldn't do this, so I don't. Or maybe, a guilty pleasure. They talk about that with like, oh, I feel guilty eating this, Haagen-Dazs out of the thing, or it's a guilty pleasure that I watch, I don't know, like General Hospital in the afternoon or something, like something you shouldn't be doing according to somebody, but you do it so you keep it secret and guilty. No, guilt to me in a way is taking somebody else's idea of what to do more importantly than your own. I learned very early on to embrace my goofiness, because somebody's going to out me at some point that, oh, yeah, I remember you told me that you used to watch the Donnie and Marie show at 8 o'clock on Friday nights in the 70s and dance around to Lawrence Welk at your grandmother's house. Somebody's going to out you about being goofy, right? So the more comfortable you can be with who you are, the less guilty you feel, the less shame you feel about doing something that somebody, whoever that is going to judge you for it. So think about that. If you're feeling heavy about something, is there guilt involved? Is there guilt involved? Guilt is also, it was funny. Who was I talking to recently? We were talking about guilt, and we were talking about um, Irish Catholic guilt and Jewish guilt, motherly guilt. And who was it? And they said they're half Jewish and half Irish, so they got it from both sides. I don't remember who it was. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. And you know what? That one persona, I love this because I know that executive dysfunction, I feel like, honestly, and this is no diss on anybody here. Executive dysfunction is way too fancy of a word. It gives this more power. I need to do the thing. I want to do the thing, but my brain won't let me. So part of your brain, let's even chunk it down. A part of my brain wants to do the thing, needs to and wants to. A part of my brain does, but there's another part of my brain who won't let me. Okay, so think about that. This is why there's tension that's connecting. And here's a fun thing. Okay, I'm just riffing here. I'm always riffing. Okay. And you're working on telling myself. So there's a third part of you. The thing is just the thing, no big deal. So that to me sounds like, okay, you've got two parts of you, and there's a tug of war between the two. I swear I did a TikTok video on this, like, you must pay the rent, but I can't pay the rent. It's like you want to do it. No, you don't. I want to do it. No, I don't. And so it's a back and forth, like a tug of war between parts of you. So part of you is kind of winning when you say you're not doing. I know I'm jazzy improv. I'm riffing, schooly bop bop booty boo. I'm like Ella Fitzgerald in her later years when she was scatting, right? Yeah, I'm a jazzy improv. So that one persona, this is why I feel like sometimes when we label things, we make them appear stronger than they are. Executive dysfunction is kind of winning when you're not doing the thing. But over here, the one who wants to do the thing, let's build up the strength in that part of your brain. It's not your brain. Let's the executive, in your suit, I don't want to do the thing. Calming it down and chunking it down. Yeah, I would get really curious. This is where, and I love it, Christine is saying, just lovingly chat with those backseat drivers. You know it. I would get my notebook out. I would flip it and be like, okay, brain. All right, executive. Let's imagine, I don't know where this is going to go, but imagine your executive, you have a dysfunctional executive. You work in an office and there's an executive who isn't working well because he's stopping you from working, right? Okay, so imagine, and notice I'm saying he for some reason. Okay, you have an executive that you're interviewing. Okay, Yeah. And here's the funny thing, that one persona says, "I didn't even know it had a name." It only has a name because somebody somewhere decided it sounded good, and then other people picked it up. What if we called it something like bozo vegetable? I don't know. Like, it doesn't, notice how it takes the seriousness. Ah, executive dysfunction, you know? Let's loosen it up. Let's not even call it that. Let's call it the scared, you know, the scared little kid in the back seat, your backseat driver. Because here's what I would say: if my brain won't let me, why not be a sassy punk rocker and say, "Oh yeah, I'm going to show you. I'm going to do it anyway." Meh. You could do that, you know? Part of your brain, chunking it down. Part says no, but part says yes. Let the yes win. What are ways you can give some more strength to the part that wants, needs to, and wants to do it? How come this part of you gets to win all the time and make you feel bad for it? When you fall into that, you also, and I'm not saying you fall into it, but you also are strengthening the belief that is called, you're strengthening, you're giving your energy to this executive that then gets more confident, that says, when I say you don't do it, you don't do it, even if it's jamming up the works, you know? So here's what I would do. All right, that one persona, conjure up your dysfunctional executive, okay? The wonky person in the suit who's jamming up the works. I would like to speak with them. And I'm just curious. This is what I would do, is I would sit down and be like, okay, why? Talk to me. Okay, I'm sitting here. You're at your executive desk. I'm here across from it. I want to understand more why you won't let me do the thing. Okay. So, executive. Okay, let's call Shirley. Right. Okay, Cheryl. All right, Laverne, Shirley. Okay, so the executive who's dysfunctional is named Shirley. I'm going to be Laverne on the other side. All right, Cheryl. All right, what is this thing that you can't do? What is this thing? What is, and usually the thing is not a thing, because a noun is a person, place, or thing, but the thing tends to be a verb. It's an action. What is the verb that you are saying no to? Notice how we're kind of messing around with words, and Cheryl's probably like, "What?" It's like, okay, the verb is do. Do the dishes. Don't do the dishes. You cannot. I will not allow you to do the dishes. Why not? Well, says Cheryl, I think they're boring. I am bored doing the dishes. So no, you don't get to do the dishes. But yeah, but the other part of you over here is like, yeah, but you know what? It would be really convenient to have a nice, clean assortment of bowls to eat my cereal out of. I really like that. No, you can't do it. No, it's boring. Well, how could I make it less boring? How could I? I could put on some music. I could use some soap that smells really nice, and maybe it's like palm olive you're soaking in it, and it could moisturize my hands. Or maybe I do just one dish and then I stop. Again, we notice that up thread. Why don't we do this? Now, Cheryl could be a jerk and say, no, 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 no. But why does she have to win? Why does she always get the last word? Why does that executive get the last word? Because that executive is causing the product of this office, which is your life, to not be the way you want it. So there's a part of you that is equally as strong that says, I don't care what the executive says. I am going to do it, and I'm going to feel good about it. And the more that you remind yourself of that strength, and to me, that's your co pilot, the more you empower them to, even if you're getting some kickback here from Cheryl, in the office, that you can say, I hear you. I get what you're saying, but I'm still going to say I'm going to do it anyway. I mean, isn't that kind of totally punk rock? Isn't that rebelling and getting what you want, rebelling to get what you want? That sounds kind of cool to me, you know? What do you think? Does that work? You know? Yeah. And yes, that one persona working on letting the chill jazz cat take over instead of following the uptight square in the suits. Yeah, why should the suits always win? No, man. No, we're going to rebel. This is going to be the hippies and the beatniks and the jazz cats and the punk rockers and the creative types and the ones that just want you to live and have fun. We are going to say no to the suits. That's an executive. We don't listen to the executives. We do what we want. And if we want to do the dishes, we'll do them. And if we don't want to, but we realize we have to, we are going to make it fun. We are going to make it small. We're going to be like, no big deal. See how easy this was? We're going to prove that executive wrong. I like that. That's kind of fun. I like that. Thank you for introducing me, reminding me of the executive who's causing the dysfunction. No, dude. No, we don't work with your kind. I feel like I'm in some like late 60s, like, you know, uh, movie, with the kids rebelling against the squares, right? You know, hey, swag girl. Hello, worked 3 doubles. I don't even know how you do that. Did a little cleaning today. Awesome. But need to rest. Hell yes, you do. All right, think about this. We've got Melissa. Okay, okay. Yep, Melissa with a 3. Oh my gosh, of course. Retail during the holidays. God bless you for putting up with people. Now, you do everything you can right now to make yourself the most comfortable. Okay? Everybody. We've got like 12 minutes left. Everybody do something to make yourself feel comfortable. This is the great thing. I already took my bra off. I wouldn't do it on, I was going to say national TV. Wouldn't do it on camera, of course. That made me feel more comfortable. I don't have my shoes on. I've got my slippers on. Shortly after this, if my camera was not on, I would be putting on my pajama pants. And there we go. I love your videos and I could listen all day and just get stuff done. Here's the thing. I thank you for that. And yes, and I want you to do that anytime you want. But also remember, in order to listen and get stuff done, you need to take care of yourself, okay? So resting and refilling your tank, okay? Ooh, I love this. Therapy Gal Sue, little decluttering packages while on TV. Make believe episode of the Monkeys played in my head. I think that's one of the most delightful, I'll take it as a compliment, that I've ever received because I am a freaking monkey file. I freaking love the Monkeys. Such a crush on pretty much all of them and their beach house. God, that's how I live my life. So yes, yeah, we're like Mike, Mickey, Peter, and Davy saying, yeah, dude, no. That's your hang up, man. That's a Mike Nesmith quote. Okay. There we go. So Melissa, Cheryl is giving some ideas of how to she's getting herself comfortable right now. PJs on, heating pad on my bed, cozy and comfortable. I love it. I love it. Need to rest. Yes. And so here's another place where that square in the office, the executive, he's dysfunctioning you. He's making you not be able to function. When that is the kind of executive that says, don't take care of yourself, keep on working. No, dude, we're taking breaks. Yeah. Now I gotta bone up on my Nesmithisms, you know? That's your hang up, man. That's the one I always remember, you know? But think about that. Yeah. Think about when part of you wants rest and part of you doesn't. Why does the one who says don't rest, they don't get to win? I don't have to do what you say. I am resting and I'm going to flip the bird to you by feeling good about it. Let's all be a little bit punk rock, a little bit monkeys, okay? And it feels good to stand up for yourself because yourself needs rest. Yourself doesn't want to be doing dishes all the time, but man, can it be handy when you want to eat a big old bowl of cereal for dinner because that's what you can do as a grown up. You want to be able to select from all the best bowls and have your favorite spoon. And I get to have my bowls always available to me because I don't make it a big deal. You think it's a big deal? Oh my God, the guy in the office, Cheryl in the office is going like, dishes are such a big deal. And you're like, no, this isn't. I'm just doing a few. Just doing a few dishes. No big deal, Cheryl. See how easy it can be when you're a rebel like me? Dottie, I'm a rebel. I'm a loner, right? No big deal. I just do some dishes. And then we snap our way out like the jazz cats we are, right? The cool kids. No big deal. Don't make it a big deal. I even have it written down from one of our things. Do you want to be a drama queen? A drama queen like Cheryl in the corner office, all uptight in her suit, dysfunctioning? Notice the opposite, functioning versus dysfunctioning. Executive and dysfunction? I don't want to be a dysfunction. I don't want to be an executive or dysfunctional. I want to be a functional, groovy cat, like the creative in the office who gets things done and he's not scared of, Don Draper, I guess. I don't know. Let's not go there. But yeah, you want to be more monkeys and less like, the uptight suits. Do you want to be a drama queen in the corner office? Oh my God, I can't do it. It's so much. Or do you want to be the queen of no big deal? Yeah, man. No big deal. Look at me. I'm doing some dishes. I mean, it's kind of hard to snap and do dishes, but I don't know why you're making such a big deal of it. It's just dishes. Dude, check out the square right there, right? Check out him. He's you know, he's all uptight about dishes. They're just dishes, man. What's your problem? Chill. I'm the queen of no big deal. Doesn't that sound fun? I mean, why not have fun with it? Because that is taking the power away from the executive and bringing it over to the creative suite, right? The people that get shit done. They're not the ones all freaking out about, it's not to code and oh my God, we're going to get in trouble and what are they going to say? Blah, blah, blah. No, man, we get shit done here, dude. And now the next thing you know, I'm like, all right, all right, all right. And I'm talking like Matthew McConaughey, or I'm like freaking Jeff Spicoli, right? Right? Kind of, languid. So think about that. Let's flip that executive and not be executives. Let's not be dysfunctional. Let's be functional creatives. Doesn't that sound cool? I don't have executive dysfunction. I am practicing. I am creating a life of creative functionality, the opposite of executive dysfunction. Just because somebody named it that at some point seems to give it a lot more credence. So let's just riff on it. Let's do the opposite. Let's create the opposite. Be creative. Saying no and resting when you need to. I'll get it done. And then you get it done. Because that's what you do, right? Yeah, I don't know. I guess I watched too much TV as a kid. But seriously, doesn't that sound like more fun? I don't want to be an executive. I don't want to be dysfunctional. Cool. Now you know what you want to be. You want to be on the other side of that. Yeah. So have some fun with it, you guys, okay? I know ADHD, and I don't say this, just to be clear, I do not say this in a mocking way or a minimalizing way, because I know ADHD and the way your brain is wired can feel really important. And I'm not saying it's not. What I'm saying is when you loosening up and having some fun and flexibility and play and calming down your nervous system, and notice flexibility in your body and, That can help when your brain is wired for the ADHD. It can help for you to feel like you can do something and that you're not locked into a what do you call it? Like when they tell you something, like when they, you know, see, this is why I don't coach at night because I'm like with the words, you know? And feeling good, feeling flexible, taking it easy is very anti-disestablishmentarianism. And that's how we are here. Oops, excuse me. I didn't we only have a few minutes left, but I didn't want to disturb us. So, yeah, dudes, let's be more like that and less like the uptight executive in the corner. Okay? Yeah, life is serious enough. I like adding some play where I can, even silly ways to think about tasks. And you know what that does? It really does. And I think I mentioned this a little bit on to this morning's TikTok live, which was laughter and silliness are power. Notice how in the world there are people who are humorless, who can't take a joke. Their idea of humor is being mean to people. No, because you know what? In order to be funny and have fun and be creative, you need a heart and you need love in your heart. So I say the more you can show up and be creative and flexible and playful and silly, that pisses off the people who are all uptight because you have something they do not have. And when you sit in that power of, oh, yeah, little orange face, you're not going to scare me. You remain in your power, and then you can use that power to do something to counteract that little, like, toddler wearing a red tie and a really bad comb over. Yeah, let's be those people. When you get afraid of of people who are things are serious, I'm not saying there aren't serious things. Do not misconstrue. What I'm saying, it's self-preservation and it's empowerment to get you into action because that's what we're talking about. Doing the dishes can be the same thing as getting yourself to call your representative, to write a letter, to show up at a protest, to vote for somebody, to stand up when somebody's being a jerk. When you have that power and confidence, that's a cool thing. Okay? So yes, adding some play wherever you can does not undo, does not minimize the serious stuff, but it reminds you that you can do something. Okay. Now I just realized it's 8:59 and a couple of things real quick as we sign off. Okay. One is tomorrow is Thursday. There will be a TikTok live and a YouTube live. I promise you that. They will both start at the top of the hour, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 9 o'clock, you know what I mean? But I don't know when they will because I've got a few things going on. I've got to drop my husband, pick him up, all sorts of things. Also, later on in the weeks, in the next like 7 to 8 days, I'm having eye surgery. And so I don't know how that's going to pan out for me being able to see and everything. I'm sure it's going to be fine, but I'm just letting you know that there will be, even though they're not listed on the secret page, there will be TikTok lives and YouTube lives. I'm telling you, as soon as I get back from the eye doctor and I'm like, "Oh my god, I was afraid. I was cautious about something that I didn't need to be." I will be scheduling those things and we're going to be back on schedule, okay? But let's be flexible. Trust that everything will be okay. You can trust me that tomorrow I will show up somewhere between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. There will be a TikTok live and a YouTube live tomorrow, December 11th, 2025. But until then, I hope you have a good night. I hope this was helpful. And now we get to all riff on the dysfunctional executive in the corner. And we're just leaving. We're clocking out for the day, man. You can go. Oh my God, it's totally like the door into summer, that Monkeys The Monkees song. Listen to that one. Google it. Okay, it's a good one. All right. Yay! Thank you very much. Yes, and we have you nearly 1,000 videos. Wouldn't that be fun? Okay. See you guys. Have a good night. And go listen to the Monkees. All right. Bye.